Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. Justin and I have been having a nice time here at Radio Doctor. It's a nice space. We're in a part of their showroom, and we're going to learn a little bit more about how they can help you with your car later on.
Got a lot of cool gadgets around here.
They sure do. And right now, I'm excited about this topic. You may recognize Jim Essence, owner of Jim's Coins, who's joining us today. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to instill some additional creativity in your kids. I think it's a really important topic, especially with schools sort of pulling back on some of the arts, and being able to do this at home is wonderful. So you've got some great ideas for us.
Sure, yes. It's a good idea. A lot of people want to get their kids into art and creative thinking, and discussing art and creative thinking through collecting coins and paper money is something that people do, and something that the whole family can share.
And it's something I've never thought about before, but you're right, there is so much art and symbolism and uniqueness, especially looking back on some of the money from history.
Yes. And there's a lot of symbolism in all of our money, and you don't necessarily need to know the symbolism to discuss some of the things. For example, this is a really cool coin that I love. It's a high relief $20 gold piece. It was so beautiful that the director of the mint thought, he was worried that they wouldn't circulate because they were too beautiful. People would keep them. But for example, you could ask your child, what do you think of, or how do you feel when you see this eagle flying with the sun in the background? Just how do you feel? Just getting in touch with their feelings. Sure. And when they get in touch with their feelings, that helps their intuition develop. And how am I feeling right now? Right. And that's kind of what coin collecting is about. It's not necessarily just about musty old guys with cigars and pipes. It's
you do that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. It's about getting in touch. How do these coins make you feel? And so
I like how you're saying the emotional connection to art and coin collecting, because that's even an additional component to what you're gaining here. So you're kind of helping to connect with the creativity and the symbolism, but also through learning about your own emotions.
Yes.
I think that's really interesting and a unique approach.
And I think it's easy enough for people to say, when you look at the eagle on the back of that, they think freedom, because eagle for our country is a symbol of freedom. But I think flying over the sun in the background, that kind of has hope to it. I kind of feel hopeful when I see that.
Yes, yes, and victory.
Yes.
And then on the front you have Miss Liberty marching forward with her torch and the olive branch in her hand there. And so that also, what do you feel when you look at that and think about that, the olive branch and the torch, and it kind of brings up an emotional connection.
It kind of has a feeling of some strength to it, I think. I feel like.
Yes, yeah, me too.
It sure does. Well, she's got a very confident posture, and that adds to it as well.
Yeah.
Yes, and then here's another coin, Walking Liberty half. Again, Miss Liberty with the flag, and she's marching, and on the back the eagle again. And you can discuss that and how do you feel when you see gold versus silver. All kinds of interesting things, avenues that you can explore.
And we have just a couple minutes left, so I want to touch on some of these paper currencies as well. So let's talk about some of these and your thoughts.
Yes, now this is the educational series, these 3 notes right here. And they were actually, back in the day, they thought, we really need to introduce the United States to art, and that's important. So they made these very beautiful. They're considered some of the most beautiful currency made, so that everybody could enjoy it, because it'll reach the boonies wherever, and people will be able to enjoy it. Lots of symbolism here. For example, this one, Lady Liberty, or America, standing on the world with a light bulb that was brand new in 1896, which is when this note was. You have Jupiter here with the lightning bolts, kind of strength, and the goddess Fame is Greek mythology here on our currency. And then peace with the doves in the background.
What I find unique too is even the numbers are really different from what we use today. So the sort of script that you see throughout.
Yes, the classical our old currency is much more classical and ornate than currently.
Yeah. And you brought just kind of a standard garden variety $1 bill here too, but there's a lot that can be learned from even that.
Yes, you don't need to have these fancy old notes. Even on the back of our $1 bill, this is our the national seal here. We can talk about that. You've got the pyramid. A lot of people think this is a masonry symbol. Not necessarily. It's got the pyramid here. It's you could say it's an Egyptian pyramid symbolizing strength with the 13 steps, which is the 13 colonies, and the all-seeing eye. Not necessarily the Freemasonry eye. Not necessarily the Freemasonry eye. And of course, you've got the Latin on the top and the bottom.
And that's another way to introduce some sort of language differences too. I love comparing and contrasting. I think that's a really unique way to teach history and sort of how things have changed and developed over time. But bringing that art spin in is really unique and interesting. I think is great.
Absolutely.
Jim, we got to go.
Okay.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Okay,
But
thanks
go
for
see Jim
me.
over at Jim's Coins. They're in Hilldale. It's a great spot. We're going to be right back with more Wisconsin Family after the break.